What is up, everyone? What is today? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Hump day. Happy hump day. Man, somebody told me that earlier today. That's how they answered the call. It totally threw me off. I was like, what day did you say it is? Totally threw me off.
You guys, check out our new camera. What is it called?
Shout out to Lars.
Yeah, I was about to say Lars Larson bought us this camera, and it is night and day with what we had before.
Crystal clear. Can we show them the difference?
Can we?
Well, can we change it back?
Let's see if it does it right here. Did it change it? That's
bad.
That's the quality.
It's looking rough.
Okay. Back to HD or whatever you call it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Crispy.
Okay. Anyway. Today we're going to talk about how we work together 24/7.
All the freaking time.
We live together.
Can't get away.
And we work together. And we're married and we have a baby. So when you work from home, we're together.
I want to hear what you have to say.
We're together 24/7. But to be honest, I think the best way that we went about this was we each get our own office, because we learned the hard way that when you're working in a business like this where you have to be making calls all the time, if you're both in the same room, it's like, okay, I gotta wait on you and I gotta wait on you. So it was like counterproductive. So
it sucks too, by the way. It just sucks, just in general.
Yeah, so we each have our own office, which is really helpful. But now that I've had Sailor, I'm kind of just in mom mode and social media mode, just putting ourselves out there, like doing the branding, our YouTube channel, our podcast.
She basically works out of the living room, so I'm about to put up a sign for rent, office for rent.
Oh, mine right here.
Yeah.
I know.
Y'all can rent this office or use it as a studio podcast like we are.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of want to set it up all cool, but one project at a time.
Yeah, for real.
I think one of the big things too is us being on the same page and having a good balance in like who we are as people. We're total opposites. I'm very like, don't think about it. I just take action and think about the consequences later on.
If you even think about the consequences.
I'm the go-getter, okay? I'm like, let's just take action and think about it later.
Whoa. You saying I'm not a go-getter? I'm waiting on the answer.
No, you are. You work hard, but like I'm the visionary. I'm like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. And you're like, hold on, we need to make sure like you're the analytical one, the one who makes sure like I don't make stupid decisions, even though I still don't listen. So
essentially, right, in racing, right, NASCAR racing or Formula One racing, you have two drivers. Right, you have two drivers. Not two drivers. You have two people.
I was like,
the team.
I'm the backseat driver.
Yeah, that is true, but not what I'm talking about here. No, you're the driver, babe, right? You're the one telling us where to go. Well, I guess no, it's actually the other way around. Yeah. All right, so I'm the driver.
No.
I'm the driver. No. I'm the one making the turns, right? And she's the navigator,
okay.
telling us which way to turn, where we should turn. Turn left now. I just turned left.
You know, I think it was a TikTok I sent you the other day where this dude was saying how women, what was he saying? Like, you don't pay attention to the video that I sent you.
Part of the job description, ignore wife.
Oh my gosh. This is what I deal with. So you have to be able to joke with each other too.
Definitely.
Like to do business together. And it's really hard to not get them mixed up. Yeah. I guess like our personal and our business coincide, but I like it like that. I enjoy it. And
yeah, I was just gonna say that something that we had to learn very early on was to, and honestly, this is how every partnership goes, business, right? Learn what your role is, and then stay in that lane. Like, don't get out of the lane, right? Don't be Don't be swerving, crossing lines. It's how you get into trouble. No, it's best to come together as a team, right? Because should have similar goals, right? Otherwise, y'all shouldn't have gotten married or gotten together in the first place. If you don't have similar goals, you don't have to have all the same goals, but have some similarities and direction of where you're trying to go, right? And then work backwards from there. Well, it's the same way you do in business, right? You need to have goals in a business. Otherwise, you don't have a business if you don't have goals. Damn, write that on a t-shirt. But for real, you need to figure out where you're trying to go, short-term and long-term goals, and then come together as a team on how you're going to achieve that. Start divvying up who's going to be doing what part, and then just go for it, right? I'll tell you right now, we did that in the beginning, and we had each other in roles that didn't even make sense, right? But it made sense at the time. But as we went through it, we were like, okay, yeah, this is not what I want to be doing. I'm going to give you that, and we have this instead, right? So there was a lot of back and forth on that too.
I see someone say, I need to find someone with the same mindset. Also, if you're a Facebook user and you comment, we can't see your name unless you sign up with StreamYard. It's annoying.
Yeah, it just says this.
It just says Facebook user. Yeah.
That's all it says. That's all it tells us.
It's a bummer. But thank you for watching.
Yeah.
If you want to join our YouTube channel, you can chat there and we can see who you are. But I think Joseph and I both had mindset issues, and we still do. We have things that we need to work on. But I think us pushing each other and calling each other out on things that we don't want to hear in order to grow is really important. And just know that like we both go at different pace. Like I can't like if I'm like high intensity and like go, I have to realize that that's who I am as a person, but he may be different. He likes to go slower and get the job done better than I would, or, however it is that he works, I have to respect that he learns or does things differently, and I have to learn to support him, but also push him to be better. And so you may not always be on the same wavelength as each other, but you have to trust that like this is our goal in mind, and we're going to each pull each other to get there. And we're going to get there together. So that's something we have to do.
All I heard from that was that one part where you said that I do things better. No. But for real, you said something about being on different wavelengths sometimes. Well, I'd venture to say that you're pretty much on different wavelengths almost all the time, right? You can be pretty close together, but you think differently, so there's no way that you're always going to be on the same page. And don't get us wrong, right? I'm not saying that you're not going to have those moments where you're thinking the same thing or whatever it is, right? You're going to have different ideas of how to achieve the same thing, even though it's the same end result. You're going to have different paths on how to get there. And yep, now we can see it, Adrian. The value, or that's what I'm looking for. The significance of it is when you can learn to work with each other, to communicate enough to be able to explain those differences of opinion or different perspectives or different visions of getting to the same goal, and then coming together on actually compromising and realizing the other perspective from the other person to see the pros on their side and the cons on your side, and vice versa.
Should we give them some like life examples of things that like we've had to work through?
Yeah.
Or
you got something ready?
No, but I don't want to just preach. Like I want to ask questions and like, share more about us, like what we've actually dealt with. Do you have any examples?
When we were doing the switch to multifamily, you were ready to just like drop everything, right? You were just ready to like, F it. I'm tired of wholesaling. Let's just scratch everything off the table right now. Like here's KJ, right? Picture the table, the classic scene where people come in, it's a bunch of stuff on the table, just scrape it all off. That's what she did, right? That's what she wanted to do with the business. And I was like, no, like we can't do that. We can't just go 100% into this. we need income coming in, right? We don't even know if this is ever going to pay us. We have no idea, right? So I was like, let's keep doing what we're doing, but let's put like 60-70% of our time into the multifamily and still maintain what we're doing right now. So that way we can keep some active income, right? Because, you know, we still have to pay bills. Had a baby on the way, had to start paying. We had a baby on the way then? No, we didn't even know yet.
Well, we knew soon enough.
We knew soon enough, yeah. But we didn't even know
So,
at that time.
so what's the point, babe?
The point is, the point is what I was talking about, right? You know, you wanted to go one way, I wanted to go another. I'm still down to do the multifamily, but my hesitation was if we put everything, all our eggs in one basket, right? What happens if that basket gets knocked out, or all the eggs get knocked out of that basket? So what I'm saying is you listened to what I had to say at that moment, and we were able to come to an agreement where, hey, we're going to reduce the amount of time of what we're doing now, a bunch of time in the multifamily, and it ultimately was a great decision for us. And we're still doing both to this day.
I think something that we both learned is to listen and not react emotionally, but to just listen. And there's some times where like I step over my line and I get in his lane a little bit, but you know, I do help him a lot with remembering things because he's got a lot on his plate. But when I notice one of us is like not in the right mindset to have a conversation, we both have an agreement that, okay, we have to recognize it and be self-aware. Like, let's be grown here and not let our emotions like take over to where we're not thinking clearly. Like, let's understand how we're feeling and then come back to each other at a time where that person is ready to hear what it is that you have to say. And that way you're both ready to listen and understand. Because I think if he's in an upset mood about something I did and I just keep trying to shove it on him about something I'm upset about or something that needs to be done, he's just going to like be ready to block me out and not listen to what I have to say. And then I'm going to not feel heard. And then it's going to turn into like something where we're both angry at each other versus like, okay, I see you're not ready to listen to what I have to say. I say, can we come back to this in 30 minutes to an hour when you're ready to hear, when you're not distracted? Can we have this conversation? And then it's like so much better. And so we have to be like business partners as well as like applying that to our marriage too, which is really helpful. Just being able to have a conversation together rather than like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And then like shutting down and getting mad at each other. I mean, don't get me wrong. We do have those days where we just like, F it, I'm over it. Like, it's been one of those days where Sailor's like screaming all day long and I'm just over it. And I'm like, I'm tired, I'm hungry. And you just like, you know, you take it out on the ones you love. But
yeah, it's pretty much game over. If either one of us hasn't eaten, it's like game over. It's World War III and IV at the same time. It's pretty rough. So yeah. No.
So we should give them. Wait. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say before, like you're seeing what we are now, right? That is not how it started off. It was to the point where like if we like got annoyed with each other or frustrated or whatever it was, right? It was to the point where it would affect our business. Where like if you were pissed off or I was pissed off,
then we didn't want to work.
Then both of us were pissed off. It's like, well, now I'm too mad to make calls because I'm just gonna go vent to these sellers, or like I'm just gonna go off because they're giving me a bunch of FUs, right? Because we were doing a lot of cold calling early in the beginning, right? Bunch of cold calling. So I'm already getting FUs from these people, right? I don't want to have to deal with them and deal with what I'm dealing with here. So you're seeing like that aftermath. This is just years of dealing with each other 24/7, right? Hence the title.
Yeah,
with each other 24/7.
Yeah, it was different because we went from like going to a W-2, a job where we would miss each other and then come home and like can't wait to see each other and like only get to spend that time together and then we'd be apart. And it is hard because like we have to purposely say, okay, let's go get out of the house and go do something because everything we do is in this one area, and it's a blessing. It has its pros and cons because we do get to both be home with Sailor, but it does have its ups and like its downs when you're like, okay, I need to get out of this house before I go insane. And on top of that, we have to purposely put ourselves in rooms or in events where we can actually network and meet new people, because if we're at home, we're not growing our brand, we're not growing our business, we need to be networking. So
we could literally go weeks without seeing people if we weren't networking constantly, right? Like on Zooms, having multiple meetups. I mean, I'm sure there's people watching that I've met. We had a Zoom with Joel earlier, right? KJ was talking to Joel, and just another networking Zoom that we regularly do. But if we weren't doing those, like, we wouldn't see people for weeks, to be honest with you.
So should we tell them, like, we each go, like, what is the worst part and the best part? We say the good and the bad and the ugly.
You go first.
Okay.
You sound like you're ready.
No.
Sounds like you've been preparing for this question your whole life.
No, I thought it would be fun to like show them that, I'm sure everybody.
The best and the worst thing about work.
I was like, I'm sure everybody's gonna relate if they're going through what we're going through, where you work with your spouse. Like, I think the good part that I love is that everything I'm doing, you get to be a part of, and we get to do it together. So we get to start from the bottom and then grow into this dream of ours that we're trying to accomplish. And I think that's really cool because we're both going to understand and appreciate all the work that we put into it, and then we have something in common that we get to share. And it's really cool to be able to go and enjoy events together and have like a podcast together and getting to network with people versus like, hey, I'm going to go to an event and then you just feel like out of place. You're like in your normal, natural, whatever you call it, right? We're both like, hey, this is our stuff. This is what we like to do. And we're both passionate about it. So it's fun because we get to talk about it all the time and come up with ideas together. And yeah, I mean, that's what I enjoy about it.
That was a good one. Well, I have my best and worst, I guess.
Okay, you go. I'm interested.
So which one do you want first? Should I start with the bad?
Okay, yeah. Let's go with the bad. What is it?
Okay, yeah, I had that one quick.
Dang, I couldn't even think of mine.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of what we've already talked about, right? Like, for me, I'm the type of person that either I want to handle this like right now, or I need my space to cool off and then we'll come back to it later. It's one or the other. There's no like in between. I'm not going to be like ready in 5 minutes. It's either right now or we come back and talk about it like tomorrow or something, or later in the night. So for me, with me being that way, right? And obviously, it's not perfect. We all never said we were. We all have stuff to work on, right? But for me, if there's ever an incident that happens, right, I can't just leave, right? I can't just go anywhere. I have to be here. Like the other day, I wanted just some peace and quiet, and not even like I was upset or anything, but I just wanted to like, hear my own thoughts,
Not a baby toy.
Not a baby crying or smacking on a toy, or you getting mad with the dogs because they're being loud and she's trying to sleep or whatever it is, right? I can't just leave. I can't go anywhere. And we only have the one car, so if I leave, she doesn't have a car. And on top of that, I'm just busy. I'm back-to-back meetings, back-to-back things that I have to do to get my stuff done. Right, I have to time block in order to get my stuff done. Otherwise, it'll never happen. So I have to literally go on my calendar, block off an hour, hour and a half, 30 minutes, whatever I need, so I can do it. So for me, when I want like some peace and quiet, or to just like be by myself, because I'm much more of an introverted person. I like being by myself, right? I don't get that. I don't ever get that. So that is what I would say is the worst. But at the same time, the best, right? The best, the part you've been waiting for. I know you like the words of affirmation.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. You'll like this. Is a good one. The best is I know 100% that I can rely on her for everything, right? I know that we're going to be on the same team no matter what. I don't have to worry that if I say something, the partnership is over, right? Because I know we're in it to win it 100%. We're together. Dang, I keep hitting that thing. We're together either way, right? She's already locked in. There's a baby, like she's trapped, like she's not going anywhere. I know 100%. Even before the baby, I knew we were in it to win it, right? So that, yeah, Adrian, that's huge. It's huge for me because we've been in multiple partnerships where I would say in every partnership, we put our 100%, all into it. Because if we say, hey, we're going to work with someone, that's it. We're going to work with them. We're going to treat them just like we treat each other, right? Like if we're in it, this is a team. We're in it to win it for the team. The goal is for the team. And that's not everyone, right? Luckily, we found some great partners now, but that's not everyone. And even to that degree, I trust all our partners, Jada, Max, Lars, Oscar, Ione. I trust all of them, right? I trust them with my life. But at the same time, there's always that little fear factor that if I say or do something in the wrong way, that even if I'm not meaning it in a way, but they're perceiving it to be, that they might just say, hey, what, this isn't for me, or, we're not aligned anymore, whatever the reason, right? I don't have to worry about that with her. So I would say that's the best.
It's like we got each other's back. Like no matter what, we have each other, and that's like security, I guess you could say.
Security.
No. I don't know what my worst is, to be honest.
Damn, I thought you would have had that ready. Lickety split.
That
was like the whole reason for the podcast.
I do like you.
I like you too, but I'm ready to go. I like you a lot. I like you a lot, but come on, let's be honest.
Oh my god.
Let's be honest.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me think. I think maybe.
Choose your words carefully.
I know. I was like, don't put myself in trouble.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, if I say it live and it's recorded, there's no taking it back.
I know, yeah. And I'm going to show Sailor later on and be like, look what your mom said about me.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think the downside is not getting a break. Sometimes you missing each other. Yeah. I think I would say that. But then when he goes on events for the weekend, I have separation anxiety.
For real. Blowing me up.
I'm like, oh my God, this is a problem. If something were to ever happen to him, I don't know what would happen to me. I might end up being how older people, one dies, the next one dies right after. Mm-hmm. That might be me, because that's the downside of when you're together 24/7 is now I have separation anxiety when he leaves.
For real. Remember that time I went to help your sister move? It was I was gone for 18 hours. And she was freaking out, man. I was like, babe, I'll be back tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow.
I'm getting better though. When you go to events, it's not as bad. I'm like, okay, alone time, I get to watch the shows that I want to watch. Because when you live together, now we watch a show together. So at night it's like, okay, well, you don't like documentaries like me.
I do. I just don't want to watch them 24/7.
I want to watch cartoons, documentaries, and comedies. He wants to watch action.
No, I'll watch anything. Yeah, I'll watch all of them. But
things that I don't want to watch.
Kind of guy, you know what I mean?
I always have to meet in the middle.
Yeah, you do. It's called marriage.
Well, when he leaves,
the theme of the topic tonight.
When he leaves, it's KJ's rules, KJ's TV. What I want to listen to. So,
Joel, man, I always call you that, bro. Sorry, Joel. Can you rephrase the question? What do you mean the important thing you do now? I'll answer it, but you gotta provide a little clarity on what you mean.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed our podcast of how we work together 24/7. We do it because we have no other choice.
Man, don't sound so excited about it.
I know, it was part of it. Yeah. But no, I love it.
Yeah. I mean, all jokes aside, there's pros and cons to every relationship if you really think about it, right? You just have to find, my dad used to tell me something. And you know, I may get some kickback from this one, but my dad used to tell me something, and he meant it like in the most like,
What are you about to say?
it's not bad, but you know, people might be offended by it.
Well,
but
just
it's okay.
say it.
So don't take offense. I don't mean it in any offensive
If they get
way.
offended, let them get offended.
Okay, well, you can come back to next week's show and we'll probably say something worse.
Yeah, I'm like, this isn't the podcast for you if you get offended.
Amen, right? T-shirt. That's our slogan.
Go ahead.
He used to say, he said, son, and he went through, my parents got divorced, and this was like maybe like 2 years after it, right? But he used to be like, son, he's like, my experience, and this was the second divorce. He's like, in my experience, he's like, all women are crazy. He's like, this is what I found to be true for me. And he's like, you just have to find the one that's just crazy enough that you can live with, and love the crazy. That's what he said. And I was like, and it stuck with me forever, you know. And
So am I crazy?
yeah, crazy enough.
You're not supposed to tell people that.
You want me to lie to you? I mean, I thought we were being honest here. I was like, you got a good kind of crazy though. You know, it's good. It's a good crazy.
It's okay. You're lucky I like you.
I mean, I like you too. Like I said, I like a little crazy in my life.
Exactly, Jada.
Yeah, crazy hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he it was a total joke when he said it, but it locked in. I don't know. I told you that.
See,
before,
Jada's on to something here.
Yeah, crazy hot.
That's funny. Hey, I mean, crazy is what got us where we are. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Joseph, like when we first started, and I was like, we're gonna do this and this. Like, we're gonna go pay $5,000 to learn, and we're gonna watch YouTube videos, and we're gonna do multifamily. He's just like, I felt like he was like,
I was like, man, this is like, are you sure? Is this another one of your ideas?
my family did that too. They're like,
Hey,
oh,
but
no.
you know what? As soon as you're like, I'm serious, I was like, all right, well, let's do it.
It's a roller coaster ride with me.
Well, let's do it.
Okay. Well, I think we covered it all. If y'all are enjoying our podcast, let us know. Give us some comments, like, subscribe, share it. You know, we're winging this.
Give us suggestions, right? We're open. I mean, as you can tell, I mean, we're pretty transparent.
We like to joke around.
KJ and I, we're kind of known on the team for just saying what we think. It gets us into trouble sometimes in some situations because we're both like that. It's not like one of us doesn't it's not like one of us is more reserved when it comes to that, right? We don't let people take advantage of us. We say our thoughts. You know, we're both strong-minded individuals, and you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. But you know, some people don't like that, but that's okay.
That's why we work together.
That's okay.
Because we'd be like, both of us would be on the same page. Tell that person straight up.
Like Joel says, what?
It's Joel.
Damn it, bro. I'm sorry. Like, that is forever, like, ingrained
It's
into
because he has 2 L's.
Bro, if you just take away 1 L, I will remember it forever. I will remember it forever. For me, you just got to change. Just take out 1 L just for me, and it will literally stick. It'll make sense.
Now, what some suggestions for us younger folks here, Joseph Mudd?
And he said, want to hear what you think a guy got to do at this age to change lives. Focus on yourself. Definitely. Focus on yourself. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Figure out who you are as a person before you try and get involved with another person. Biggest advice I could tell you right now. Because if you're not in the mental space of where you need to be to take on the stress of entrepreneurship or just life itself, then you're doing everyone a disservice, everyone around you. Not even just the person you're in a relationship, but your entire family around you. Right? And that's something I'm still working on to this day because no one freaking told me that before I did anything. So I'm still currently doing that, right? So that's what I would definitely say. Focus on yourself.
That's a good one. But to be honest, Joseph and I was 17, he was 19. So we were still young kids, and didn't know anything about mindset or, working on yourself in that way, being self-aware. So as long as you're open-minded and always working on yourself, even if you're, you always have room for improvement, but as long as you're being aware of that and can learn your communication skills and how to constantly improve yourself and just always get better, I think that will be very beneficial for a relationship, especially if you're going to do business together too. Because if one person is constantly growing and the other one is not, like Cody Barton said, what did he say?
He said, your revenue will never outgrow your personal growth.
And that one, like, let me repeat it. Your revenue will never outgrow your personal growth, which is crazy.
Say it one more time for the Amy's in the back.
Just for Jada. Thinking about that, if you aren't growing and pushing yourself to be better every day and putting yourself in bigger circles, how can you expect to make more money if you're not meeting new people, bettering yourself, leveling up, changing your energy? I think that's huge. And so if you think I can learn everything but not work on myself, you're going to stay stuck. So, and we're still working on that.
Every day. Joel, to answer your question is like, how did you guys overcome overthinking and get yourself mentally to where you need to be? She kind of just went into that, but it starts with just getting 1% better. If you haven't read the book Atomic Habits talks about getting 1% better every day. And if you do that, it'll be exponential growth when the year is up. So awesome. That's all it is.
Well, let us guys know what you would want us to talk about next. Anything, let us know. And I'm down. We wing it each week.
Hey, coming to you guys live.
Awesome. Well, bye guys. Thank you for watching. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Join us on the next Mud